Wednesday morning, let's rise and shine. Separate your bed from your behind. Tell the stranger sleeping next to you to get the hell out, you've got things to do. Wednesday morning, the week's half done. Try to sober up, it's time to run. There's only 3 days left working from 9 to 5. Then it's party time. Party time. Just a little more work to do. Let's get on up and get the damn thing through. Then we'll get back to numbing our minds.
Hump Day on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Sounds like we set records yesterday in both Eau Claire and La Crosse. As of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eau Claire set a record, 78 degrees for October 29th. The previous record, 77 degrees, set back in 1950. And in La Crosse, 81 at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, which matched the record from 1937 of 81 degrees. Yeah, it was a warm one. I didn't spend much time outside. Humid, too. Had the AC on. Very comfortable in my house. Shut it off today, though. Going to be about 72. Looks like rain moving into the area later on this morning. Early part of the afternoon. Going to be heavy at times. Showers, thunderstorms, and then continuing tomorrow morning. But should clear up in time for Halloween and trick-or-treating. Lots to get to as we, of course, finish up the month of October and move into November. Halloween tomorrow, Election Day on Tuesday. Oh, boy, lots going on. If you need something, rockmornings.com is the website. You can listen live on the website. You can also register to win Workforce Wednesday, which is today. Yeah, your chance to win freebies just for working. Sign up on the website, rockmornings.com. Let us know where you're working for your chance to win. Also got bad news, happy music coming up later on, the friggin' sports, some Offspring in a few minutes, and, of course, if you need something, all our contact info online at rockmornings.com.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, counting down the days till it's over. Tuesday. I think we got 8 pieces of
Did you really?
election propaganda in the mail yesterday, and they're getting bigger.
It's a magazine now?
Well, they started out as, the
Postcard?
I don't know, 5, almost like a postcard size. And then they increased to the 5 by 11. Mm-hmm. And now they're the full 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardboard paper. We even got one that was, had 2 pages.
Yeah, opens up like a folder.
And then I don't even look at any of it. I just look to see if it's,
is this
not
what I think it is?
Because sometimes you get something that's not political but looks like a political flyer. I got a letter yesterday, too, and it didn't even indicate any kind of, candidate or vote. It was about volunteering. And
then you opened it up? And then...
No, it just was a letter. It wasn't even, it was, typed up. It was a form letter. It was from but it didn't mention any company, didn't offer a number, a website, anything. Return address, nothing. It just, I kind of skimmed it, and I was like, what the hell is this about? And I showed it to my wife, and she's like, I don't know, in the trash. All that stuff goes in the trash in my house. I got no time for it. There is an Ohio advertising company, however, that has gotten into some hot water for a billboard of an inappropriate image of Kamala Harris that somehow managed to be approved and put up alongside a highway. It's one of those situations where
you're like, why didn't someone who was in this line of it?
It basically looks like
AI or is it real?
No, well, I think that some of it is photoshopped or AI or whatever, but it's basically a billboard that looks like Kamala on her knees with her mouth wide open, saying that she can't talk right now. She's at a baby shower. As in,
yeah, no, I get it.
Billboard depicting the vice president on her knees with her tongue out, reportedly seen by travelers heading westbound on Ohio 16 in Newark, Ohio. Next to her image is a pro-Donald Trump billboard that implied he was defending Americans. The billboard, which had been up since at least last Friday, was removed on Sunday by Kennedy Outdoor Advertising after the company said it initially thought the ad was referring to Harris as a crybaby and did not pick up on the sexual message.
Got it. So they put that up, and then a few days later, they got complaints and they took it.
Bro, you're a liar, panties on fire. Ain't nobody looking at that and thinking that she was a crybaby.
Sure.
She's legit on her hands and knees with her tongue stuck out. We all know what that means. Don't act like you weren't complicit. Quote, once it was brought to our attention how vulgar the advertisement actually was, we immediately removed it.
Advertising company?
Yeah. Billboard was paid for by a towing company, apparently. And hey, look, dude, I get it. You're the billboard company, and you got
somebody's giving you
somebody's giving you a bunch of money to put a billboard up. But at the same time, like, you can't act like you're innocent, like you didn't know what was going on here. Elsewhere in the world of elections, Biden denouncing offensive jokes that podcast host Tony Hinchcliffe made about Puerto Rico during Trump's Madison Square Garden rally over the weekend. But the president also made a comment that a lot of people are unhappy with.
Boy.
Biden said during a Zoom call, quote, just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. The president said then the Puerto Rican people he knew in his home state of Delaware were good, decent, honorable people. Biden added that the only garbage he saw floating out there were supporters. Didn't make it clear if it was supporters of Hinchcliffe or supporters of Trump, but of course people are upset about his verbiage there, the president calling supporters of Trump garbage. So back and forth we go. The election, it's coming to an end. Thank God. Thanks, Satan. Thanks, somebody. Tuesday. I see a lot of people out there early voting, though. I mean, we got ballot boxes getting burned up. We got people at, there's a Florida guy that was apparently sitting outside a polling place yelling at people.
There's a lot of yelling.
Ugh.
I feel like there's a lot of yelling. On a side note, my daughter went to see Smile 2 last night and couldn't sleep.
That creepy, huh?
I don't know. She came home and she was like, Mom, that...
Well, it's rated R, which is good because a lot of horror movies nowadays, they go PG-13 to get the kids.
She's like, I can't sleep. I'm freaked out.
Did she watch the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was caught up.
I don't know. Something... I'm not interested, but apparently, according to her, it was enough to keep her up last night.
Well, good for her. I'm glad that she went.
Smile 2.
Said it was good. I did not go to the movies, but we did watch... What the hell did we watch last night? I can't remember. We watch horror movies pretty much every night. How was it last night? Oh, House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
Remake of the one starring Vincent Price. Famke Janssen, Taye Diggs.
Pretty good, though.
It's okay. Terry Garr, actress and singer who brought her personality to Young Frankenstein, was also nominated for an Oscar for her role in Tootsie. Died yesterday in L.A. after a long battle with multiple sclerosis. She was only 79 years old.
Mr. Mom.
Yeah. Young Frankenstein, Mr. Mom, Tootsie, whole bunch of other stuff. But Terry Garr, the actress, dead at the age of 79. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. All sorts of other stuff.
Also a fierce advocate for MS awareness.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a platform, and she used it, did the best she could to raise awareness and money and support.
She went public in 2002 about her condition. So basically for the last 20 years, she's been an advocate
and talk about using your platform for good. This is incredible. Very sad story, very tragic, but with a bit of a silver lining. Have you heard of Kara Corder?
I don't think so.
Bartender in Milwaukee, seriously injured, hit and run accident.
Yes, but I don't know what you're about to say.
Jack White.
Yes.
Lead singer of the White Stripes.
Yes.
Phenomenal solo artist.
Yes.
Has now contributed $15,000 to a GoFundMe that was started up to help her with her recovery. Corder, 33 years old, left lying on the road as the two drivers sped off. She is still in the hospital. In the meantime, Schulist,
So she's
is the guy who set up the GoFundMe. I think it's her boss as well. Said he's clinging to every bit of good news about her condition and that he can find. Milwaukee police say they are investigating the hit and run. Confirmed 2 cars were racing. One of them struck a pedestrian. They said both unknown cars fled the scene. Sounds like she might have been hit by both cars, like hit by one and then bounced off the other one as well. The GoFundMe, by the way, for her has raised $84,000 as of yesterday morning, with a large portion of that coming from Jack White. Works at the Vanguard, hosting art shows, always shows up to support her loved ones. This guy, Shula, says, quote, she's one of the hardest working people I know. But yeah, it sounds like Jack White donated quite a bit of money to help her with her recovery. Sounds like she's still in pretty serious condition.
Yeah, I bet.
Sounds like she moved her arm and her leg the other day, but still got a long road to recovery, and that money is going to go a long way to help pay some of those bills. But yeah, awful.
She was had her spleen removed upon arrival at the hospital. Bleeding liver, broken arm, brain injury. As you mentioned, crossing the street like she should in the pedestrian.
Yeah, one of the cars was going the wrong way in the opposite lane because these 2 cars were racing each other. You know, and we're not talking on the highway. We're talking on a street in Milwaukee,
where she's walking home from work.
Right. Residential area where there's bars and people living and kids and all this other. It's just like, awful. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We've got some Offspring coming up in just a minute. Right now, Almost Easy from Avenged Sevenfold, which is from their self-titled 4th album. Yes, it was called Avenged Sevenfold. And it came out on this day, I believe, in 2011. No, 2007. Sorry, 2007, A7X.
A7X.
Releasing their self-titled 4th album. And this is one of the hits from that album, Almost Easy.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Right by Torres. Betts in the corner. Does he have room? Fights with the fan. And they're going to say that it's an out and fan interference. And yeah, Betts has that ball in his glove, and this fan literally tries to take his glove off. Pries the ball out of there. A for effort.
Well, he won't be watching the game much longer.
Wow, he might just from a TV. He'll be watching us on the TV.
He'll be watching from somewhere else.
Typical, standard douchebag Yankees fans.
So he's trying to take the glove off?
Absolute douchebags. Everything about the Yankees is douchery. Their fans, their team, their rules, everything about them is nothing but douche.
How do you really feel?
I hate them. I hate all of them. I wish they never existed.
To pull the glove off
Look,
when he's...
I'll give Bartman his due, right? As bad as it was, Bartman was just a guy trying to catch a foul ball, all right? He's just some lifelong Cubs fan. He would have done what anybody else did, right? Anybody else would have done what Bartman did.
Sacrificed for that.
He didn't, jump out on the field and, drop kick the guy. I mean, he reached up. He looked like a half and half balance there with the Bartman thing. I know Cubs fans were pissed at him. These two guys, though, were actively trying to rip the glove and the ball out of Mookie Betts' hands.
I see.
And it's like, what are you doing, dude? And then afterwards, they interviewed these two douchebags.
Did they kick him out?
Oh, yeah, they kicked him out.
Oh, okay.
And they admitted that they had planned for something like this. Oh, yeah. By the way, the Yankees went on to win 11-4.
I see.
Their bats finally woke up. They avoid elimination, which is a bummer because I would have loved to seen the Yankees get swept because them and their fans are a bunch of douches.
So they said if something comes near us, we're going to do something, or what?
Game 5 of the World Series tonight at 7:08 on Fox. Dodgers at Yankees. Yankee Stadium, 2 fans ejected.
I see.
After one tried to foul a ball out of the glove of Dodgers right fielder Mookie Betts. Betts leaping at the wall in foul territory initially caught Gleyber Torres' pop-up in the first inning, but a fan in the first row, a guy named Austin Cababianco, grabbed Betts' glove with both hands and then pulled the ball out. His friend, John Peter, then grabbed Betts' non-glove hand. So these guys are actively trying to hurt this dude, in my opinion. You start grabbing at a guy. I mean, it's one thing to both of you go for the ball. It's in the air. You collide. Your hands hit. Whatever. You disrupt the play. Okay, fine. But you start grabbing the glove and the ball and then his hands and stuff. I mean, you're trying to injure this dude. Betts reacted angrily. Torres immediately ruled out by the right field umpire on fan interference. Cababianco, by the way, is a Yankees season ticket holder. Go figure.
Okay.
Said he knew he would be in trouble, but chose to grab and open Betts' glove nonetheless, telling ESPN that he and Peter often discuss this exact scenario.
Says there's season ticket holders. They're always right there.
He said, we always joke about the ball in our area. We're not going to go out of our way to attack. If it's in our area, we're going to D up.
What's that?
Capobianco and Peter were escorted out of Yankee Stadium, but said they were told they would be allowed back for Game 5 on Wednesday tonight. My guess is that Major League Baseball is going to turn around and tell them, no, you cannot come to these games and you might get barred for life. And they should. Bunch of douche canoes. God, I hate Yankees fans. They're the worst.
Well,
scumbags, criminals.
They're going to allow them there.
Revoke them. You can do whatever you want. So what? You paid for the tickets? You can't be interacting and doing that to them. I mean,
of course you can't.
What are you doing?
Well, if they arrive, the people around them, I'm sure, won't be thrilled that they're there.
By the way, Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman homering in the first inning of the Game 4 last night, breaking a World Series record with a homer in 6 consecutive games. This dates back to when he was with the Braves. This guy all he does is hit dingers. What was that kid in the Little League World Series? All I do is hit dongs or whatever.
That's this guy.
Yeah.
He's just hitting them.
Week 9 in the NFL kicking off tomorrow night with the Texans at the Jets. That'll be on Prime at 7:15. Bears will be in Arizona on Sunday at 3:05. The 6-2 Packers hosting the 6-1 Lions at 3:25 on Sunday afternoon.
Is there a few seats left to go to that game?
I don't know.
Trips?
Check out WiscoTrips.com. There might be a seat or two.
Ooh, is that a game?
And the Vikings, by the way, will host the Colts on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Bucks off till tomorrow when they are in Memphis to face the Grizzlies. That game tips off at 7 o'clock on NBA TV. And the Badgers are at Iowa Saturday night at 6:30 on NBC. Another big primetime matchup on Saturday night for the Badgers.
Wow, really? Wow, that's exciting.
2 in a row, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's only exciting if they can be a little more competitive, I guess. One against Penn State was...
Yeah, well, that was a challenging game.
Hey, Penn State ranked third in the league.
Saying.
I get
it. Was but
third in
another
nation.
prime time. That's huge.
Big matchup, Big Ten, you know? God, Yankees fans.
Wow, I was just looking at some
and the only good thing about it is the memes came out quick. You know, I mean, they're fast. They don't...
Is from a different angle, but yeah, wow.
I can't imagine. Right? What are we going to do if a ball comes? I don't know. We're going to punch somebody. We're going to shoot someone. We're going to bring a gun in and we're going to kill somebody. What are you doing? Go to the game, watch the game, enjoy the game. If you catch a foul ball, have a blast.
Yeah, that's expected.
Like that's some psycho thought process right there, man. We're going to D up.
Well,
D up.
I don't even know.
We're going to punch him if he tries to come up here.
If he crosses this line right here, where it's the line between the...
Betts, to his credit, afterwards was asked about it and said he didn't really care all that much. He said it's over with. He said I'm more upset we lost the game, obviously. Wow. But yeah, these two idiots. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to the latest from Nothing More in just a couple minutes. Stick around.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day! Yes, hump day. Halloween Eve. Haunted refrigerator night.
What does that mean?
It means your refrigerator's haunted.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's haunted refrigerator night. Also, National Candy Corn Day. National Text Your Ex Day.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And National Treat Your Pet Day. Definitely do that.
I mean, I guess you could text your ex if you guys have a good relationship, if you're friends and everything's cool.
I've got plenty of exes that I'm still friends with.
That's what I'm saying. So if that's a good thing, then you could say, hey.
Way better friend than relationship.
Thanks for being my ex.
But that was decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't really put it in that frame of mind.
Anymore.
But I don't know what haunted refrigerator night means. Is it like...
Things do their own thing?
Because it's Halloween Eve, your food comes to life? Like a commercial?
Is it going to mess up my organization?
Uh-oh. Don't mess with Gene's organization. Television, tonight you've got Game 5 of the World Series on Fox. Yankees hosting the Dodgers. Dodgers up 3-1. Golden Bachelorette over on ABC. Old people doing it. First season finale of Grotesquerie on FX. The first season finale of Agatha All Along on Disney+. Apparently people are excited because she showed her butt cheeks. She's the first person to show their butt cheeks on Disney. If that's what you need to watch
Disney
it.
butt cheeks.
Disney butt cheeks. Like not animated stretchy pants. Like we're talking apparently
Real
naked.
butt.
I didn't see it, so I just was perusing the internet, and that's what I saw. A lot of stories about her showing her butt cheeks. Over on Netflix today, a movie called Time Cut. Madison Bailey from Outer Banks travels 20 years back in time to save the sister she never met from a serial killer. Jimmy Fallon tonight has got Salma Hayek, David Chang, and Kelsey Ballerini. Eddie Redmayne and Cheryl Lee Ralph are going to be on with Jimmy Kimmel. Stephen Colbert's talking to Kieran Culkin and Tom Hanks and Ina Garten on with Seth Meyers. I'm sure that Kimmel tonight's going to ask Eddie Redmayne about that whole Saoirse Ronan thing. Did you see that? She was on like a thing with Denzel Washington and Eddie Redmayne, and Eddie Redmayne was talking about a movie that he was doing, and he had to learn how to fight with a phone. Like if he was in a fight and he had to use a cell phone to like as a weapon.
Yeah.
And she apparently said something to the effect of that's something women think about all the time, you know, because his comment was something like, I think the host of the show, Graham Norton, is that the guy?
Yep.
I think he said, who would even think of having to use a phone to fight with? And she said, women think about that stuff all the time. And the guys were all kind of like, what? And, she, you know, and here you are, a famous actress surrounded by people, probably as bodyguards, doesn't really, but at the same time, you know, still is a woman and has that sentiment. And like, and I think, and a lot of people in the crowd, guys were taken aback, I think. And the women in the crowd were very, you know, happy to hear that and applauded and all that stuff. But I'm sure Eddie Redmayne will be asked about that on Kimmel tonight. That's been going viral the last couple of days.
Moldy food.
So today is the day when your food is moldy?
No, you're supposed to clean it out. So go ahead and take out all the things that might be lurking, the dangers in the back of your fridge.
So it's just sort of like a reminder
clean out your fridge. Basically, it's clean your fridge day.
Haunted refrigerator night.
Yeah, things that have been in the back and lurking for a long time. And
I don't have anything moldy, but I've been eliminating things from my fridge recently.
Like sauces
I had a jar, so sort of. So I had a jar of pickles, but I only had one pickle in it. So I just kind of ate that the other day. Like I wasn't even eating lunch or anything. I just like, I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah. And then I was making a sandwich, and I had 2 spicy brown mustards, but there's barely anything left in them. So I got all the mustard out. And even though it was a BLT and I don't traditionally put mustard on it, I did it so I could get rid of the 2 bottles of mustard.
You had 2 almost empty bottles of the same mustard?
Well, we just bought $60 of effing mustard at the Mustard Museum. I got to make room for the $60 of mustard in my fridge. It was one of those things where you have one, you don't know if you have it, you buy another one, and then you're like, oh, we already had one of these. Then there was a pickled egg. Just one pickled egg in a jar. And I was like, well, I'll get rid of that, and I ate that.
Yes, get rid of that.
Clean up some
one
space.
One thing of the things, get rid of that.
Yep.
For sure.
And then yesterday when I was making dinner, I had like some stuff and campfire potatoes, and I just sort of threw everything that I had like half an onion, and then I of course put the potatoes in there and some other stuff.
A little bit of the peppers,
little this, little that, yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah. So haunted refrigerator night.
Clean out your fridge is essentially it.
If you want to watch something spooky, and you want to watch something spooky that actually occurs on Halloween, here are some movies that are set on Halloween night, which of course is not till tomorrow.
Halloween Eve.
So if you want to hold off on these and maybe pencil them in for tomorrow night, Late Night with the Devil, 2023 is when that came out, but it's set on Halloween night. It's about a talk show host in the 70s.
Oh, yes.
It was okay.
It's not.
It takes a really long time for anything to happen, and then it's over. It kind of drags. I got to be honest. We watched it. I think it was on Shudder, and it drags and drags and drags. There's a nice little payoff at the end, but it just is. Yeah. The original Terrifier movie, Art the Clown, which came out in 2016, that is set on Halloween night. Of course, the original Halloween is set on Halloween night.
It sure is.
Halloween 3, Season
one.
of the Witch, sort of is set on Halloween night.
That's the mask one.
That's the mask one. Silver Shamrock, the shirt I'm wearing. That actually starts before Halloween, but then all of the
brainwashing.
payoff, it comes to fruition on Halloween night. Scream 6 from 2023 last year, that takes place on Halloween night, is set on Halloween night. Hocus Pocus, the original from back in the 90s.
Oh, that's probably what we'll
I've got some friends who are in Salem, Massachusetts right now, and they're doing all the witchy stuff.
Oh, fun.
Including the Hocus Pocus house, which is out there. Trick or Treat, which came out in 2007. It's kind of like an anthology film. It's actually pretty good. Brian Cox is in that. Anna Paquin's in it. That was set on Halloween night. Beetlejuice, the new one, which just came out. That's apparently set on Halloween night. So is Hell House LLC, which is like a mockumentary about a haunted house. It wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah, sometimes those can be really fun, like scary movies kind of like that.
2015 is when that one came out, and there are some movies that are actually set on Halloween night if you want to watch those tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, we watched House on Haunted Hill last night.
Yeah, and the remake.
Yeah, the one from like the late 90s. It was okay. Did you watch anything spooky? No? Just your daughter? Went
to the movies.
Gotcha.
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. That, of course, AC/DC with TNT. Ring doorbell, you got one?
No. I kind of want one, I think.
I got a buddy of mine. I just saw him post on Facebook.
What? Was it a video of somebody coming up to his door?
Yeah, sort of. Not coming up to the door. Apparently putting political signs in his yard, like at night.
Oh, we have a coworker who this just happened to.
As opposed to assaulting your political signs, which we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, people pulling over and ripping them out of the ground and spray painting them and whatever.
They're driving
This person's driving around and putting unwanted political signs in your front yard.
That just happened to a coworker of ours.
While Ring Doorbell is not looking for footage of that. They're looking for footage of a ghost. And they'll pay you $100,000 for it.
If you have a spirit that you can catch on the...
Doorbell camera company Ring is doing a contest for Halloween called the Great Ghost Search. Undeniable footage of one can net you a cool $100,000.
Undeniable footage. What's the...
Well, they obviously have to vet it. And
So if you
yeah,
put a sheet on and kind of float through the periphery, that's not going to work?
apparently they announced this last month in September, but you've got until Friday, tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, Friday, November 1st. It's similar to the Out of This World contest they did last year.
The alien?
Yep. They were looking for legit footage of aliens that time, but nobody had any.
Well,
I'm sure they got some funny submissions. If no one gets a real ghost on camera, the $100,000 will go to whatever video their judges like the best.
Oh, that's fun.
So even if you don't have a ghost,
But
real
you're
ghost,
creative?
but you're creative and funny and interesting, unique and entertaining clips will have a big leg up on this competition.
Well, that's cool.
The two main rules are the videos have to be 30 seconds or less. Nobody wants to sit through 10 minutes of video.
No, they
Nobody
don't.
wants to sit through 2 minutes of video.
They do not.
And if you've got something that happens and it's the last 5 seconds of a 30-second video,
the rest out.
Cut all the crap out at
Or
the
maybe
beginning.
just
Give me
a
5 seconds to set the scene.
I was just going to say,
so
give
I
me
can
a
look
little
at things
bit.
and see what I'm seeing, and then I need the payoff and then get out. Be succinct. The footage also must be filmed on a Ring device. So
Well,
if you're in your
if you have a
basement with
Ring
your cell
camera
phone.
and you're trying to be creative and maybe the kids are all dressed up as ghosts, and I mean it's worth trying, I guess, because they are paying for silly or creative.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't get a legitimate ghost, I mean, like obviously the winner will be someone who has a verifiable ghost in a Ring doorbell camera video, or that $100,000 will go to the the judges' table, and they'll figure out who gets it based on entertainment and creativity. So if you're sitting on any undeniable footage of a ghost
with your Ring
camera, then now is the time to cash in. Go to their website for more info, but the Great Ghost Search from Ring doorbell cameras could net you $100,000.
Some of those cameras that catch Amazon drivers interacting with dogs.
Some of that stuff is fun.
The occasional slipping on the ice, falling with the pizza delivery. Those can be hilarious.
I like the ones where the kids run out or the mom runs out and they don't realize the driveway is slippery. And they go down.
Yes.
Or like they slide out of the driveway because it's all ice.
Mm-hmm. Some of those can be really great.
I don't want to know who's wandering around in my front yard or my backyard. I don't want to. Whatever.
Like, we have lots of people that pass our house. We're obviously in a very residential neighborhood, and the amount of people walking their dogs. So I don't want to get notified every time somebody that would be annoying. But I've thought about it.
If it's outside, whatever. I mean, what? So someone walks up and takes the pumpkin thing out of my front yard. What am I going to do? Call the cops over a pumpkin thing? Whatever.
It's fall, y'all. What if they take your "It's fall, you're all" sign?
I mean, I don't want it to happen, but I'm not going to bother or waste police time for an inflatable in my front yard. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely don't want it stolen, but I mean, what am I going to do? Now, if they steal my truck, it might be nice to have some video of that, but I'm not too worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if they try to get in the house, then they've got some. They don't have to worry about the cops. They got to worry about me.
They don't have to worry about the cameras.
They don't have the cameras, cops, none of that. They got to worry about what happens when you get on the other side of that wall.
I had a neighbor who put up fake cameras around her property.
Oh, to try to discourage people?
Yeah, but they never really did anything. They were just propped up and looked like they were.
Beastie Boys coming up in just a bit.
Rock mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9.
Beastie Boys fighting for your right to partay. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Not the first time, won't be the last. Missing ring found 54 years after it went missing.
In water, in the ground,
golf course,
in the sand.
Golf course. Golf clap. Golf clap. An 82-year-old Marine. Named David Lorenzo just got his Naval Academy class ring back 54 years after he lost it on a golf course near Pittsburgh. A random golfer found it in the dirt after a storm and then traveled all the way to Florida to give it back to him. Didn't want to mail it, didn't want to ship it, wanted to bring it all the way to him. David joked that the ring, quote, survived combat but couldn't survive his golf game.
He lost it golfing, and then all these years later, it was just found in the grass.
Apparently, the storm moved some stuff around. This guy thought there was like a beer can or something sticking in the ground and wanted to remove it in case it got into somebody's wheels on their golf cart or something. And then, it ends up being a ring.
It was raining a lot, and the grass was deep, but there was some areas that there was no grass. And I pulled up to the one area, and I seen this shining, and I thought it was the top of a beer can, and I figured, well, dig it out so somebody doesn't step on it. And when I looked at it, 1964, and I tried it on my finger, and I thought, well, this must be a child's ring or something. And we cleaned off the inside, and I seen the United States Marine Corps, the Lorenzo. And I figured, we have to find this person.
Holy cow. And they found him alive?
David Lorenzo, who was 82, said he lost his class of 1964 ring while golfing with his dad at Uniontown Country Club near Pittsburgh. He said it survived combat, but it couldn't survive my golf game.
That is so crazy.
Michael Zennert, who's 70, was golfing at the same club recently. He spotted the shiny object in the clay that had been exposed by recent rains near the fourth green. Zennert searched for the ring's owner online, found a podcast episode in which Lorenzo talked about his experiences in the military. Dude, this is so crazy. This guy then traveled to Florida to present Lorenzo with the ring at the National Naval Aviation Museum at Naval Air Station, Pensacola, where Lorenzo was a volunteer.
Yeah. Pensacola, the Air Museum there. It's huge.
Zennert said, quote, I just knew I couldn't send this in the mail. It had to be delivered personally.
Man, that's great.
The museum celebrating Lorenzo's returned ring on social media by saying Christmas came early this year for the longtime museum volunteer David Lorenzo.
Dude,
Pictures.
the chances of him still being alive and him finding him and him he's 84 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Pretty cool. I like the move of traveling all the way to Florida, too. Mm-hmm. That's such a cool move.
Mm-hmm.
Again, happens all too often, it seems, with these missing rings and people finding them and finding the owners or maybe the relatives of the owners. Mm-hmm. Maybe if they passed away. This woman was pretty close to passing away. Home engulfed in flames. She's in the basement. Can't go upstairs. The upstairs completely on fire. Body cam footage shows firefighters and rescue workers smashing out the basement window, the little tiny...
That's all I've got is the little tiny...
Yeah, and dragging her ass out through that little window.
No.
Ma'am, stand back if you're in there. Ma'am, are you there? Can you tell me the sound of my voice?
Affirmative. I can hear you calling me. She's in the basement.
Ma'am, come to the sound of my voice. You're good. There you go. You're good. Can I get her out? No. There. Get out. Okay, just stay here.
Trapped in her basement last week when our house caught fire. The basement, by the way, completely covered in black, thick smoke. So she can barely even see. She's down there dying. It's not the fire that's going to kill her. It's the smoke.
Yeah.
Police sharing dramatic footage when they were working with firefighters to help pull her through that tiny little window, got her out just in time. 4 sheriff's office personnel, along with 2 fire officials, were treated for smoke inhalation and minor injuries.
Yeah, how did
following
she
this
even...
fire? Yeah.
Maybe breathing into a pillow or a blanket or
Just
something
get
like
low.
that. But
get low.
Yeah, ma'am, you got to come over here.
Crazy. Ugh. Yeah, my fat ass wouldn't fit through that window. Well, nope. Well, I guess
my window is very. I don't think I would either. It's 2.
I would say
rows
it's maybe
of blocks, so it's about.
Mine is probably 2 feet wide by a foot and a half tall, 24 by 18. Yeah, I mean, we're talking lube, baby. P. Diddy lube party. To get my fat ass out of there.
I don't know how
Not to mention it's an egress window. You know what I mean? So it's like down in a...
Oh, mine isn't even that. I mean, mine's just...
Like it's like down.
The real thick.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, those square blocks. Yeah, I'm not getting out of my basement that way. Nope. Well, this isn't going to work. You're going to have to run through the fire, fatty. That's what they'd be yelling to me. Ma'am, can you hear my voice? No.
Run.
Hey, fat ass, run through the fire.
That's all we got for you.
Hey, bacon bits, get your fat ass upstairs.
We have no other solutions for you.
Yeah, I'd have an easier time trying to smash through the concrete. Kool-Aid Man style. Oh, yeah.
Help.
Than trying to get my big ass through one of them tiny little windows. Boy, oh, boy. Jelly Roll coming up in just a bit. rockmornings.com if you want to get in touch with us. Don't forget, sign up for Workforce Wednesday while you're on the website.
I was just looking at that.
It is Hump Day. Your chance to win freebies on Workforce Wednesday.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Here are some tips for trick-or-treaters. The more generic your costume, the more you can stock up on peanut butter cups from the same house without them noticing. If you dress as a ghost, be prepared for a random old lady who answers the door to say, "Is that you, Leonard?" and starts weeping. When you get home, hide your good candy immediately so that all your parents can steal from your bag are Whoppers. And remember, if a house has the curtains closed and the lights off, that just means they want you to go to the back door. Have a happy Halloween and let me know if you need any more trick or treat tips.
Yeah, don't go to the back door. Bad idea. Kids,
don't do that.
Do not go around the back of a house.
No, they won't. They'll go, and the lights.
Front door,
on.
lights got to be on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was so funny yesterday, actually. Like I said, we were watching House on Haunted Hill. Wife got home, made dinner, we ate, and it was about 6:30, and it was completely dark out. And I was like, oh, crap. On Thursday, those kids are still going to be coming to the house.
Mm-hmm. Completely dark. Pretty, well, the time changes this weekend, right? Yeah, remember that? So, last night, I looked, I happened to note it was like 6:15. Still somewhat light, but getting dark. And then I'm like, ugh, but this time next week is going to be dark.
72 today for a high in our area. Showers and thunderstorms moving through later this afternoon. Looks like some of them might be pretty severe. There's a 100% chance, by the way, of showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue tomorrow morning, and then looks like it'll clear up by the afternoon in order for the kids to get out and trick-or-treat and stay dry. But it's only going to be like 55 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be chilly.
Mm-hmm. A little cooler, but not bad.
According to a new poll, 20% of people think that kids of all ages should be allowed to vote. Like your 8-year-old. Now, look. You have young children. Not
adults.
Too young.
Young adults. 16,
18, 22.
17, 19, 22.
I was in the realm.
You were close.
I was batting 1,000 there.
Adults. 2 of them are adults.
2 of them can vote. But right now it's 18. I think it's fine where it is.
What do you mean of any age? They really mean that? Or they mean like 17-year-olds?
I think they say of any age. That's what it says. New poll out on voting, and there's always polls about voting. 20% of Americans in this poll think that kids of all ages should be allowed to vote.
That doesn't make any sense. I just held a 4-month-old yesterday.
Wow. A 6-year-old?
Is a 4-month-old get to vote? Is that what we're doing here?
What about a 3-year-old who's still pooping his pants?
By the way, super cute, but can't really do anything.
Apparently, they offered an option on this poll. 13% of people support giving parents an additional vote for each child they have who's a minor.
That's what I thought you were going to. That's where I thought you were going.
The original poll, or the first part of the poll, is that 20% of Americans think that kids of all ages should be allowed to vote. Now, I don't think that a parent's going to walk down there with their toddler and have them cast a vote. That's never going to happen, obviously, but the other side of that coin is that 13% of people in the poll support giving parents. And that's not the people who said the 20%. These are other people in the poll saying that, like me.
Everybody that lives in my house, I get to count. Is that the deal?
Well, so again, if they're not
minors,
already,
then I could have 4 votes.
You could have 4 votes instead of just the 1, which that seems fraudulent.
It seems ripe with issues.
By the way, those percentages are virtually the same between both parties, conservatives and liberals. Although, folks, they say in this poll, folks 65 years and older are not as hot on teens or little kids voting. Go figure. Or parents getting extra votes. They don't want any of that. Yeah, 1 person, 1 vote. And you got to be 18 or older. You got to be an adult. I don't. Why are we even polling about this?
I don't know.
And who are these people? We should take their votes away. If you think children of all ages should be able to vote, you should no longer have a vote anymore in any election ever again. Like, there's something wrong with you. I get it, dude. Kids have opinions. They got to live here, too. They're affected by stuff.
I agree with all of that.
But not till you're 18, bro. It's been that way for a long, long time. It's fine. I'm, doing the best we can.
Your frontal lobe and all those
things. But you start letting 13-year-olds get in there? No cap? Well, what are we doing?
Like I said, what's the age that we're talking about? Are we talking about, like I said, I held a 4-month-old yesterday. Does she vote?
Now, according to this poll, whether or not you want to include kids, a whopping 78% of people in the poll think that there should be a broader national program to educate kids and teens about the political process.
Well, that's fine.
They're not learning that?
Well, it depends. I think, they might have a civics class, but maybe they don't go that deep into the wormhole. There's AP classes about it, but those are advanced classes, so maybe there aren't as many opportunities.
Well, and it's got to be tough, too, because much like, job training when you're a 13-year-old.
That's not interesting.
When you're not able to vote till you're 18, does the election process matter to you when you're 13, 14, 15, 16? Maybe. I mean, obviously, if you've gone through a few elections and your parents are, active and they start to talk to you about it and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. We didn't talk about it in my house. I had no idea. I couldn't tell you who my parents voted for. I could guess, but I don't know.
My parents
Never
talked about that.
Never.
Not in between the two of them.
Never overheard it. Never saw it. Never once. Not once.
No.
Never, not once.
Agreed.
No idea.
0.
By the way, on the flip side of that coin, 35% of people think the minimum voting age for national elections should be raised to 21. So the 20% of people think kids of all ages, and then the 35% think that it should only be 21 or older.
I do not agree with that.
Well, and I think, the schools still have class elections for class president and stuff like that. Do they still do that kind of stuff?
Yes.
I mean, that's got to help with learning about the process of it all.
Well, and you were 18. You got kicked out of your house, and you had to go live as an adult. People leave home. They have to do the things, or they're off to college, or whatever that looks like for them. They are.
Yeah, I mean, I lived an adult life from the time I was 14 on. Now, granted, the moment I got a job, I paid rent. When I started delivering newspapers when I was in, 6th or 7th grade, I paid rent. Now, granted, it was $50 a month. It wasn't a ton of money, but to me, at age 11, when I'm making money on a paper route, that's a lot of money.
But not being able to vote till you're 21. And I get it. The drinking thing, I understand what they're saying here, but also the military and...
Oh, buying cigarettes, voting, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Lottery tickets, gambling.
Gambling.
Lottery tickets.
Yeah. 20% of people out there in a new poll think that... And maybe they don't care. They're just abacadabra all the way down. I don't know.
Maybe. They might be sick of polls.
Yeah, that might be it. I don't know, though, dude. I don't want kids voting.
How do you do, fellow kids?
No, I don't. No, I don't want that. You walk up to the poll as a 49-year-old man. You voted in several different presidential elections. And here's some 12-year-old with the broccoli hair. What's up, dude? What are you doing here? I'm voting, bitch.
Kids suck.
Yeah, I don't want that. We do not have the same level of currency right now, you know what I mean, when it comes to our political prowess here. That can't be a thing, right?
It cannot.
No. All right.
Cannot.
Good. I'm glad you're on board with me on that one. Latest from Jelly Roll now, it's Liar.
Rock Mornings on 95.7 The Rock.
Jelly Roll with his latest, that is Liar on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. World Series continuing. Yankees finally got the bats going last night. 11-4 final score. Game 5 will be tonight at 7:08 on Fox. Dodgers at Yankees.
Thrilling Game 4.
Week 9 in the NFL kicks off tomorrow night. Texans at the Jets. That game 7:15 on Prime. Bears will be in Arizona taking on the Cardinals on Sunday at 3:05. Packers hosting the Lions on Sunday at 3:25. Big matchup in the NFC North. Vikings will host the Colts on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Bucks off till tomorrow night when they're in Memphis to face the Grizzlies. That game 7 p.m. on NBA TV. And the Badgers, of course, in Iowa on Saturday night at 6:30 on NBC taking on the Hawkeyes.
That is awesome. That's a big, big, big game.
Texans wide receiver Stephon Diggs, torn ACL, will miss the rest of the season, according to head coach D'Amico Ryans. Colts are benching their starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson, and turning to the backup, the veteran Joe Flacco, opting for Flacco over the struggling Richardson. The benching came 2 days after Richardson asked to come out of the game on Sunday against the Texans for one play because he later told reporters, quote, he was tired. That's a bad look, bro. That is a bad look.
Like I'm just kind of exhausted here.
You can't. Not in a league full of men. You can't do that. You just can't. You can't say, I'm tired, coach. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired of people being mean to each other, not knowing where I'm supposed to go.
Tired?
You can't. You can't do that. One play. You can't go in there for one play. I mean, you got guys in there yakking all over the place on the field. Guys going into the tent, getting shot up with who knows what, and you can't go out there.
Some oxygen, because you're stand upright.
You can't. That is a no-no. That is a big time. And whatever, he'll figure it out. He's a rookie, but
I'm tired.
That's a bad look. Rudy Gay retiring after 17 NBA seasons. He made the announcement yesterday. He's 38. Played lastly for the Utah Jazz in 2022-2023. He did sign a contract with the Warriors last summer, but was waived shortly before the season. So Rudy Gay calling it a career. And the Chicago White Sox, who lost a lot of games last season, record-setting.
Like, they were
all
terrible.
The games.
Yes. Can I please be traded?
Obviously looking for somebody new on the bench, and it looks like they're going to hire Texas Rangers coach Will Venable to be their next manager. Venable's 42, played 9 years in the big leagues before he transitioned to an off-field role as a special assistant with the Cubs in 2017. Then he was a base coach for the Cubs for 2018 to 2020. He was Boston's bench coach in 2021. Then he was hired by the Texas Rangers, where he has served as an associate manager next to Bruce Bochy for the past 2 seasons. So, yeah, looks like the White Sox are picking up Will Venable. Try to right that ship.
Did you see the 7'9" kid?
Yeah, doesn't have to jump to dunk.
Dude.
Is he in Florida, right? He's a Florida kid?
He's in Florida, but he's from Canada.
Yeah. We talked about him before.
I guess now I had 7 feet 9 inches tall. Biggest man on campus, any campus, by the way. A Canadian and the world's tallest teenager, and now he's playing basketball.
He's a big-ass kid.
Wow.
Rockmornings.com for all our contact info. Dean texted in, said America is slowly turning into that movie Idiocracy.
Oh, is this the voting with the kids thing?
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
Go away, Baton.
I feel like those questions are kind of...
Well, number one, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So why do you offer that up as an option?
That's what I'm talking about.
But there are people out there that are crazy, that are
Yes.
that think that a 13-year-old in our country has as much riding on the future as I do. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not even that. It's the understanding of all of
and is educated enough to know what to do when it comes to that process. No. I'm sorry.
Well,
those people are wrong.
So, who's coming up with the question?
Now, you want to tell me that some 16-year-olds out there might be mature enough and care, are into it? Okay, I buy into that. But again, does a 16-year-old have a mortgage, a 401k? Do they understand the stock market? I mean, there are so many levels to that.
There's 40-years that don't.
Right,
So,
I get that.
That's not the litmus test for getting into it. But they didn't quantify it at all. They just said kids, which I'm...
All ages.
Yeah, it doesn't...
That's the problem. Yeah. Now, if you want to say, should we lower the voting age to 16? And 20% of people said yes, I wouldn't be so offended by that. Because there's a lot of really smarter than me 16-year-olds out there.
Are you smarter than a 16-year-old?
And even that doesn't really, again, what's your skin in the game? You know? You're living at home, your parents paying all your bills, what do you know? I didn't know enough at 16 to be out voting.
Then at least the question would have quantitative data, right? Just saying kids.
As opposed to just kids of all ages.
Right, put down the binky. Here's your voting ballot.
Right, the kid that still wears a diaper, right, because he's pooping himself and has a pacifier. That kid gets a vote, and so it has as much to say about America's future as I do.
Dumb
question. System of a Down coming up. If you need something, rockmornings.com. Again, also on the website. Sign up to win freebies on Workforce Wednesday. That will be today. We'll help you over the hump with some freebies. So sign up for that. Let us know where you're working.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
It's the season. Today's the day. Candy corn is on the way. Couldn't wait for it to get here. Everybody, sing with me. If you love it, say Bronx Candy Corn.
No, your ears do not deceive you. There is actually a theme song for candy corn. And it's as bad as candy corn. National Candy Corn Day to go along with National Treat Your Pet Day and Haunted Fridge Day. The haunted fridge thing is just a reminder to clean out your fridge.
That's it. All it is get rid of the moldy stuff.
National Candy Corn Day. People who love candy corn, with every fiber of their being, this day is their day to celebrate. Halloween, candy corn tends to be abundant.
They're pretty. I'll give you that. You know, like they're sort of.
It's got the fall colors.
Yeah.
Orange, yellow, white.
And it,
looks like
little cute little corns, right? And you can.
I don't know. It looks like little triangles. Doesn't look like corn to me.
I don't know. I don't love them. I guess I'd prefer them over a Tootsie Roll.
Every year, 35 million pounds of candy corn are consumed worldwide.
I think they're cute to put on like a cookie or a cupcake, too.
That's about 9 billion pieces of candy corn. According to a recent poll, 57% of candy corn fans eat the whole piece in one bite. Just pop them in.
Or they bite the little tiny white
28% start with the narrow white tip. 15% start with the wider yellow end. I didn't realize there were so many options when it came to
how you eat it.
Eating candy corn.
Of course there is.
I just pop them in if I'm going to eat them. By the way, if you overindulge on candy this Halloween, whether it be candy corns, candy canes, Reese's peanut butter cups.
There you go. Now you're
Kit
onto
Kats,
something.
Just a bowl of sugar, Pixie Sticks, whatever it is. If you binge too much on Halloween candy, they say eat kraut. This is like the Jamie Lee Curtis probiotics thing.
They're good for anything. Probiotics kind of fall into that almost like the Greek yogurt thing.
Website did a big article on how too much candy can wreck your microbiome, which is the delicate balance of good bacteria in your gut.
Then you eat the other bacteria.
Messing with it can cause indigestion, lower your immune system, and too much candy can make you sick in more ways than one. After you polish off all your kids' candy that you stash on top of the fridge so they can't reach it, go eat a bunch of sauerkraut or maybe some
those brats you have left over in your freezer from Oktoberfest.
The kraut can help rebalance your microbiome because it's one of the 4 F's: fiber, phytochemicals, unsaturated fats, and fermented foods.
It'll do that for anything. If you've been sick too long, if you have, the
phytochemicals are basically just chemicals found in plants, and fermented foods like kraut's important because they help replenish that good bacteria your gut needs to keep you healthy. So even if you're not a sauerkraut fan and you don't want to choke it down, you can try some yogurt, some kimchi, or kombucha. But yeah, if you overdo it on the candy, try some sauerkraut. You ever eat sauerkraut just by itself? Like maybe a spoonful when you're eating brats, but like
whatever.
Just go raw, not without brats around.
You could have a Reuben. Like, eat too much candy, go have a Reuben. I have to eat this Reuben because I ate candy. And now I have to balance the kraut. It's good for me. Very well health in my gut. I know. That's what I was
Doesn't
saying.
Shaw like Reubens? And this son of a bitch was bitching and moaning about not liking Big Macs because of
the sauce. He does like Reubens, which has kind of the sauce on it, doesn't it?
It's Thousand Island dressing, isn't it, essentially?
I think so.
Liar, liar, panties on fire. I knew he would like that Big Mac when we got it for him.
It's belly health is what it is. You have to eat the Reuben. It's good for you.
Sorry.
You have to.
Sorry, honey. I got to eat both of these.
Have you?
Both of these Reubens.
It's health benefits, hun.
Yeah.
Digestion.
I'm getting healthy.
That's what it is. Immune system, boosting it right here with this Reuben. It's brine. It's regulating my blood sugar, babe. I have to.
I tried that artisanal kraut that you find at the
I know
meat
what
counter.
you're talking about. They're good.
So normally they got them in the cans.
One?
What is it, Frank's? You know, we got a big can of it right here. Frank's quality kraut. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not dissing kraut. I'm just saying, write it in the little bags with the little popper thing in them, whatever the hell that is.
Little seeds. Caraway
They've
seeds.
got them by the deli there. Not by the deli, by the meat counter. And I didn't really... They're a little more potent on the vinegar quality. You know what I mean? And the potency. But in terms of flavor, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a connoisseur of kraut, but I didn't really notice anything other than the potency of it, like a horseradish mustard. You know what I mean? Some of them are a little bit of horseradish. Some of them are like, whoa.
Toasted and crispy on the bread with the melted, the gooey, and the Reuben, and then the...
I don't want my kraut toasted.
No, not the kraut, the bread. That you're
you got to have it because you got to contain all that moisture. Yeah, because all that meat and the kraut are so drippy. Yeah, and then you got the sauce. Why aren't we eating Reubens right now?
Mm-hmm.
You got to stop talking about Reubens.
Okay.
You know that's like my favorite sandwich.
I know.
Why didn't you bring me in a breakfast Reuben?
There.
You bring in this crappy breakfast soup. Where's my breakfast Reuben?
Sorry. Good for your gut.
All right. Yeah, so if you binge on too much candy, try eating some kraut.
Or bring a Reuben to 201 State Street.
We've got bad news, happy music coming up a bit later on. Also, it's Workforce Wednesday. We're going to read some of these entries here in just a bit, see where people are working. Hit up our website, rockmornings.com, and sign up to win freebies on Workforce Wednesday. Let us know where you're working.
Rock Mornings on your rock station.
System of a Down with Toxicity on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, rain in the area later today. Sounds like showers, thunderstorms. Could be severe at times. And it's a 100% chance of it happening. So expect that rain. Probably going to continue into tomorrow morning. And then hopefully dry up just in time for the kids to get out there and do some trick-or-treating. But 72 for a high in our area today, into the mid-50s tomorrow. Looks like Friday going to be sunny, but just about 51 for a high.
You don't have dreams, do you? Nightmares? You don't remember them?
Occasionally. It's rare.
It's rare, though, for you, isn't it?
It's extremely rare. That is definitely one thing about you and I that's different. You tend to remember all your dreams in vivid detail. I very rarely do. The ones that stand out, I try my best because I get up and I'm like, oh, my God. But as soon as I hit that shower, man, my brain I don't have a brain for remembering things. I can't remember
Whether
stuff.
they're good or scary or bad or any of that, doesn't matter.
None of it. Nope.
Teeth falling out, never dream about that?
Don't know.
Don't know?
I couldn't tell
Falling?
you.
Do you ever do the thing like that? Where
Yeah, but that's usually like before I'm asleep. Like I'm semi-awake and semi-asleep, and then my leg kind of
transition thing.
And then it's not even like from a dream. It's just sort of it happens, and then I either coast back to sleep or I got to go downstairs.
Most common nightmares. I think I have all of these, by the way.
Yeah, shocking because you're full of stress.
Teeth falling out. That happens to me all the time. I have that one all the time.
That's
and that's
a stress
pretty common,
one, right?
by the way.
You're stressed out about stuff?
I don't know. It just happens. The teeth fall out. Spouse leaving. That's another one that happens. Falling is number one, though. That's the most common nightmare that people remember is
buildings,
is falling.
cliffs,
65%
curbs.
Falling from a significant height. It can be all sorts of things. When I was young, I used to have nightmares about falling from the roof of the barn because we had like a haymow up there, and I'd fall from there. But falling from anywhere, that's number one on the list. Being chased.
Yeah. You got deadline coming up. Stress.
Yeah. Evil people.
All that stuff sounds like stress.
Feeling lost. So you're somewhere you can't figure out where you are.
Where are the
how
sex
to get
dreams? When do you get to the sex dreams? Where
feeling trapped, being attacked. These are the most common
it's
ones.
All awful.
Missing an important event. There's a lot of those work ones.
Yeah, like, oh my God, did I forget to do this?
My husband worked in restaurants when he was younger. Well, so does everybody, right? But he constantly has dreams still to this day about being late at the restaurant or not having the food or not being able to do this.
Behind chef.
Behind chef, all that stuff. Yeah, waking up late. Someone that you love passing away, being injured. Those are the most
Where
common
are the sex
ones.
dreams?
Night car trouble, by the way.
Where are we at? Number 15, 20?
Can't find their car. Like,
when do we get to the good
where's
sex
my
dreams?
car? And 5% of guys, by the way, nightmare about going bald. So losing your hair, apparently, on the list. But number one is falling.
Is there any in there about sex
Well,
dreams?
this is nightmares, so it's
okay.
not about
okay, gotcha.
it's all.
Then never mind.
They're bad things.
You
They're
don't want to
always
have a
gonna
nightmare
be-
sex
yes.
dream. All right.
They're all about that.
Maybe you do.
Sometimes I have, well, not sometimes, often I have dreams, and I'm sure everybody could analyze this one, but the house or the home or wherever I'm living is not what it is supposed to be. Like, we bought a place and it's a disappointment. I go home and everything's all falling.
So
it's like
unmet expectations.
Or things going to hell essentially in the home that you bought. So.
I couldn't tell you the last time I remembered a
happens
dream.
all
I
the
couldn't
time.
tell you. I have no idea.
At all?
Nope. I don't like
seriously.
Legit, I don't have that. I don't have that in me. It's like remembering names. I can't remember names to save my life. I sort of know.
Not at all? Like no dreams?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
I'll cover that for both of us.
like I said, occasionally I'll wake up, like in the moments that I wake up and I get out of bed.
And you say, I'm going to remember this?
And I vividly remember the dream, and I say to myself in my head, you got to remember this because I want to talk about it. And then 5 minutes later, it's gone. I just don't have it. I don't have that ability at all. Again, much like names, it takes me forever to learn someone's name. I'm sorry. It's not a you thing.
Well, 5% of you guys are
happened to me on
about
Saturday.
going
I ran into a guy. He knew who I was. It happens all the time. And I think he expected me to know who he was. And I felt so bad. I'm like, because the way they introduce themselves, he's like, hey, so-and-so from this business. And it's like, oh, you said that because I should know who you are.
Jeremy, Paul,
and now I'm the a-hole. Yeah.
Evan,
I'm
Ryan,
sorry. It's not a you thing. It's a me thing.
Robert,
it's just my brain does
Evan,
not. I got very
Pete,
little space up there.
Stuart.
And it's it's just full of crap. It's like my wife and her
Kyle,
book collection. Yeah.
Brian.
I just go with dude or bro or man, whatever. Just go with the non-personal pronoun, and I'll be satisfied with that.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Green Day when I come around on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, cloudy today with some rain happening this afternoon. 100% of rain in our area with a high of 72 today. Might see some thunderstorms as well.
We're going to get some rain today.
Yeah. And then continuing into tomorrow morning with a high of just 55 tomorrow. But again, hopefully that rain comes to an end just in time for the kids to get out and stay dry while they're trick-or-treating. Gavin Rossdale of Bush, 59 years old today. They were hella good at Copeland Park and Event Center this summer, along with Candlebox and Tim Montana and Jerry Cantrell. That was a hell of a show. Can't wait to see what the lineup is for next year. Looking forward to it. Kevin Pollak is 69. Or excuse me, 67. He's one of those, that guy.
That guy actors?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
You might remember him from The Usual Suspects, The Whole Nine Yards, The Wedding Planner, A Few Good Men. He was also in Grumpy Old Men.
Doris Zabrinsky, huh? I know she's a little heavy, but she loves to fish. You get her on the boat.
Doris Zabrinsky is dead.
She is?
She choked to death on a stack of pancakes.
Kevin Pollak, 67. Henry Winkler. You ever seen the statue in Milwaukee?
No. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. I haven't stood next to it in person.
The Fonz is 79.
You break my roof, and then you sue me. You take me here to court. You lose the case. I put up $200 toward it. The kids get the rest of it. I mean, how come you don't get to pay anything?
How come? Because I'm the Fonz, huh? Hey!
Apparently, he is like really, really sweet and genuine and like a really nice person.
Henry Winkler, 79. Fonzie from Happy Days. Coach Klein. You got your manhood back. From The Waterboy. Whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Supposedly. He's like a really, really good guy.
October 30th, 1938. 86 years ago today. You could still get away with stuff on the radio.
Why? What happened?
Orson Welles made his infamous War of the Worlds radio broadcast on this day in 1938.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. So awful. The eyes are black and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is kind of V-shaped with saliva dripping from its rimless lips. It seems to quiver and pulsate. And the monster or whatever it is can hardly move. It seems weighed down by possibly gravity or something. The thing's rising up now and the crowd falls back. There seems plenty. The most extraordinary experience, ladies and gentlemen. I can't find words.
Millions and millions of listeners thought that New Jersey was actually being invaded by aliens.
Yeah, they did.
Apparently a woman in Pittsburgh found with a bottle of poison, wanted to die that way rather than
the
at the hands of the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So, War of the Worlds. And then they went on to make about a bazillion movies about that. I think the last one was with Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could get away with it back then. War of the Worlds. 1974, 50 years ago today, at the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Muhammad Ali unveiled his rope-a-dope strategy, let George Foreman abuse him for 8 rounds before he came back and knocked out George Foreman to regain the heavyweight title.
I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. George can't hit what his hands can't see.
Rope-a-dope. Ali, the greatest. 1981, 43 years ago today, Halloween 2 in theaters. That is when we learned that Michael Myers was stalking Jamie Lee Curtis because she was his sister.
That was 2?
That was the second one.
Got it.
Then the third one was the mask one, and then they realized, people don't like the mask one.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Michael Myers.
And the catchy song.
Well, the song was, the interesting thing is in the third one, they were showing Halloween on the television. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like they referenced it, but they again, like I said, they wanted to try and do an anthology thing, and they realized that wasn't going to work, so they just said, we'll stick with Michael Myers.
Uh-huh.
That's what the people want. We'll give the people what they want. On this day in 1987, George Michael released his debut solo album 37 years ago today. It was called Faith, featuring, of course, the title track, which
Faith.
Limp Bizkit
I've heard of that before.
did a number on. Also, I Want Your Sex and Father Figure. Yes, George Michael. That 5 o'clock shadow. Because you got to have faith.
And a white T-shirt.
1998, John Carpenter's Vampires in theaters. Via con Dios Slayer. Love that movie. Book's even better.
They made a book about that?
I think the book came out before the movie. I actually I remember reading the book, I think, in high school.
Yeah, of course it did.
But the movie's pretty badass, too.
Is it?
James Woods.
Yeah.
Killing vampires. Dragging their ass into the daylight.
Oof.
Asking a priest if killing vampires gave him some mahogany. As in wood.
Thanks for the translation.
24. Well, you're not a guy. I don't know if you'd pick up on that reference.
I got it.
24 years ago today, 2000, U2 released All That You Can't Leave Behind. Grammy-winning hits, Beautiful Day and Walk On. Was that the one they put right on your iPhone? That couldn't have been
I don't know.
that.
I was trying to remember even what that looked.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, I remember that. But
Yeah, that one. And as we mentioned earlier in the program, 2007, A7X releasing their self-titled fourth studio album featuring Almost Easy, Scream, Afterlife, A Little Piece of Heaven, and many others. So there you go. Some stuff that happened on October 30th, along with some birthdays. Got some Guns N' Roses coming up in just a few minutes, and rockmornings.com if you need anything. All our contact info there, and you can also register to win freebies on Workforce Wednesday.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Got a text earlier from Ogre talking about the Yankees fans grabbing the glove and the ball and the hand of Mookie Betts, getting kicked out. No shame whatsoever, admitting that they planned for something like this.
there were season ticket holders, too, not just there for that game, but they sit there on purpose.
Ogre texted in, D up, douche up, hop in the douche canoe and commit douchery.
They said that they like to sit there and D up.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That's why we choose those seats. We like to sit there and D up.
Those are the guys that think they're on the team. They say we instead of they. You know what I mean? Yeah, we won the World Series. Oh, really? What position did you play?
Their D level is high.
Oh, very D-bag.
Very high.
Also got a text from Tom. Said they should do a poll on how people eat Nutty Buddies. The wafers. So it's like thin wafers with a tiny sliver of peanut butter in between, and then it's coated in chocolate, right?
I don't eat them. That's how.
I couldn't tell you the last time I had one. I mean, I'm assuming Tom thinks there's a couple of different ways. One would be to just bite into it.
Like an Oreo, you take them apart.
Or you.
I used to eat.
It seems messy to take it all apart.
Yeah, now I just eat them. But I used to take Oreos apart and scrape the frosting off.
Who didn't?
Yeah, sometimes roll it into a ball.
That I never did. Now you're pushing the limits here.
You never?
Oh.
You never scraped it off and rolled it up?
No, I'd scrape it off with my teeth and then eat it.
Well, yes, but
I didn't make balls out of it.
Never? Not once?
No. What the hell happened to you on that farm?
Neither did I. It's just I saw it on the internet.
Such a liar.
No.
What the hell is wrong with
I don't
you?
know. Ogre, thanks for the question. I appreciate it.
That wasn't Ogre. That was Tom.
Oh, Tom. Not eating Nutter
Somebody
Butters.
else texted in and said peanut butter is effing gross.
Well,
To each their own, but you're wrong.
I have a friend who's allergic. She thinks so, too.
I wouldn't. Well, just because you're allergic doesn't mean it's gross. It just means you're allergic. Got a text from Roxy. Said, hey, Brian, candy corn and almonds together, so good. I don't have a problem with candy. I don't care about it. That's the thing. Like, I know people who hate it so bad, but they don't eat
Candy
it. It's
corn?
like,
yeah.
I just don't care. Like, it's not a good candy, so I don't eat it. Thanks, though, Roxy. I see what you're doing there. Might as well throw that in the trash. Those almonds. Peanut butter hater said, I'm never wrong, Brian. LOL. Yeah, you are. Because now you've texted twice.
Have they ever combined it with chocolate? Good.
Yeah, whoever that is, put them on the rocket ship to Mars with the rest of the people.
They cannot like it. That's fine. They have to
Not
understand
liking
that
it
a
and
lot
calling
of people like
calling it effing gross is two different things.
It's not.
Two different things. Not liking and calling it effing gross is two different things. Yeah. And you're wrong. Get to the friggin' sports after Guns N' Roses plus Bad News Happy Music coming up.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
The bases will be loaded here for Freddie Freeman with the Dodgers down 3-2 and down to their last out in game one. Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball right field. Seas gone! Gimme! Meet Freddie! Game one of the World Series! That stuff you are.
Perhaps the most exciting thing about the World Series was that Freddie Freeman grand slam. Dodgers, of course, winning that in extra innings in game one. And after that, it was kind of like the Yankees said, nah, we're good. Then last night, the Yankees decided they wanted to win one.
I see that, and they sure did.
And now we got a game 5 later on tonight. You ever play hooky with your kids?
You mean take them out of school and go do something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every kid individually? Or just one of them? Or
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to sound like a bad parent because there's a lot of people who won't do that, right? School is school, and it's important, and you don't have. But you
know what they're going to remember? That one time you played hooky.
Well, and not just. I mean, we
not the
left
8,000 days you're miserable in school.
Early to go when, for instance, we would go to the water parks in the Dells, and we would pull them out of school on a Friday or on a Monday.
Did they know it was coming?
Sometimes not. So I've taken them out for, picked them up for lunch, and it's been a long lunch, so they've missed a class afterwards. Or, there was, yes.
Well, I'm glad you did that. I think it's important. Kids will remember that forever. That time mom came and did something cool, right? You don't get to be the cool person very often in your kids' eyes.
I also tried really hard to embarrass them.
That probably is something they'll also remember.
Pulling up to the school, middle school especially, blaring
bathrobe
music on and just laying on the horn.
I'm over here. Yeah, I love that. In your minivan?
Kid Rock just...
Look at my minivan. Well, what you did does not hold a candle to what this guy's done for his kid.
Oh, okay.
Son Zachary was supposed to go to the dentist. He's got a mouth full of metal. Braces.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go to the dentist. Went to game 1 of the World Series.
What?
And caught the home run ball.
What?
Have you seen about this kid?
No.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be, the dad took him out to go to the game.
Dodgers trailing 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th. Game 1 of the World Series. Freddie Freeman hits that walk-off grand slam. 10-year-old Zachary, 5th grader, caught the ball that was coming directly toward where he and his parents were sitting. Zachary, parents declining to give their last name, by the way, said, quote, when he hit the ball, we knew it was leaving the park, but we had no idea we were going to catch it. The ball bounced on the seat in front of us and rolled on the ground a little bit. Then I got it. Zachary, attending the game, was initially told by his parents that he was going to the dentist. Had been wearing his Dodger gear all day for the game anyways while he was at school. Parents picked him up for a late afternoon appointment. Curveball. We're actually going to World Series Game 1. Zach's dad said, quote, he was just crying, the tears streaming down his eyes, big smile on his face, tears of joy. After he got the ball, other fans very happy for him. He said everybody wanted to get a picture with me. Everybody wanted to see the ball. I was just mobbed.
I'm sure of it.
Family now trying to get the ball signed by Freddie Freeman himself. Obviously, it's in New York. Probably going to be a while. And if you know anything about Freddie Freeman, he's going to sign that ball.
Like, that's the kind of guy.
You should read. If you want a feel good story, if you want to feel really good about life.
Oh, yeah? This guy?
Google Freddie Freeman, read about his struggles and about what he went through with his dad. Mom died, dad lost it, apparently went off the deep end. And Freddie, at the age of 12, had to take his dad to the hospital so he could get life-saving treatment. And the dad, readjusted his priorities in life. And, yeah, just an incredible story. And his dad, there was a story about him and his dad going on a road trip. And Mookie Betts,
Yeah.
And you're just the guy's dad. You know what I mean? You don't care, yeah, my son's a Major League Baseball player, but here's Mookie Betts, one of the most famous ball players in the world, and he drove him to the game like a dad would do, like Major League Baseball. It was just, anyways, Freddie Freeman has an incredible story. Not that that's uncommon, but a good guy, and it sounds like he'll
do something with this.
Probably autograph that ball at some point, which will be worth a lot of money, by the way. Is my guess. A lot of money. Pretty cool story, though, about fifth grader Zachary, who was supposed to go to the dentist, and his parents surprised him with a trip to the World Series, and then
he got a ball.
Not a ball, the ball.
The ball. Well, as much as you hate Yankees fans, did you see the...
I don't want to hear about it. You're never going to make them look good in my eyes.
No, not that.
You're wasting breath.
This is worse. You told me to look up Freddie, so I did, so I could feel good, because I love that. And a Yankees fan can be heard yelling, "You suck, Freeman," at the Game 4 broadcast during the Stand Up to Cancer moment of silence.
Yeah, so they were, I don't know about the cancer moment, but I know that in the first...
Standing up, and it says, and who are you standing up for? And he's holding a sign that says, "My mom," and somebody yells, "You suck."
Yeah. They were chanting, "F you, Freddie," in the first inning. And I get it, right? The guy had hit the
Hits home run.
Right. Hadn't hit a home run since August, I believe.
And now
he's like a Kirk Gibson. He's out there hobbled. He can't get around the bases. Now he's hitting all the home runs in the World Series. The guy's a big game player.
Understand that.
And they're chanting "F you, Freddie," and then he goes out there and hits another one right in their stupid Yankee face.
But this is a moment of silence. All the players and broadcasters are holding signs who they lost to cancer. His says his mother, and they yell, "You suck," during the moment of silence for stand-up.
That's a Yankee fan for you right there. That is the perfect description of the scumbags that enjoy the Yankees. Nothing but scum. Every single one of them.
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man. Florida Man.
Florida Man. Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Nationwide manhunt underway for a guy wanted for murder out of Tennessee that happened last week.
This isn't...
Nicholas Wayne Hamlet is the guy's name. He's 45 years old. Sheriff's office down there said they wanted him for first-degree murder.
Of?
Authorities saying that he has ties to Montana, Tennessee, Alabama, Alaska, Kentucky, and Florida. He is said to be 5'7", 170 pounds, considered to be armed and dangerous. Authorities said Hamlet's location currently unknown, and if you see him, do not approach him. Call 911 immediately.
Is there information on what he did?
Monroe County Sheriff's Office receiving a call from Polk County, Tennessee, about a distressed hiker who claimed to be a man named Brandon Andretti. The man allegedly told dispatchers that he had fallen off a cliff while running from a bear.
The bears.
And that he was injured and partially in the water. Authorities able to ping his location in the area of about 80 miles northwest of Chattanooga. Emergency personnel, search and rescue crews from various agencies arriving found a dead man with Andretti's ID on him, brought the body to the Knox County Regional Forensics Center. Monroe County detectives reviewing the scene learned that the dead man was not Andretti and that the ID had been stolen and used on multiple occasions. Additionally, they learned that Hamlet, the guy they're looking for, had been using Andretti's ID and that he was wanted out of Alabama on a parole violation. So this guy's out on parole, kills this guy.
Steals his identity?
Steals another guy's identity.
Yeah.
Kills another guy and then says it was a bear attack. It was determined then that Hamlet had used a fake name when calling Knox County Dispatch after the distress call. However, he was believed to have fled his Tennessee home before his identity was verified.
Why did he bother calling? I don't understand.
Dead man had only been identified as John Doe. Special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are currently working on sketches of John Doe to be released to the public. So they don't even know who the guy is that's dead. I don't know. But they're on the lookout for this Hamlet guy.
Scary.
Yeah, covering up the murder of a hiker, saying it was a bear attack.
Big Bear, chase! Big Bear, chase!
What is he saying?
What? Big Bear, chase me!
Yeah. This might be one of the, well, maybe not the most Canadian things I've ever heard of, but this is very Canadian, especially at the end. It's on a golf course. It kind of takes away from the Canadian thing. If it was on a hockey rink, it'd be a whole different story.
They play golf.
But a 43-year-old golfer in British Columbia arrested for smashing his driver over another guy's head.
That is angry golf.
Yeah, and there's video of it.
Ugh.
Happened at the Burnaby Mountain Golf Course near Vancouver a couple of weeks ago, but the video just came out. Sounds like the victim or someone that he was with had hit into the group in front of them. Not sure if it was on purpose or on accident.
Is that...
You hear the victim say that it was a mistake, but then the guy immediately cracks him with his driver so hard the club head snaps off. Now, the video the guy shooting the video must be in the group with the victim, and when the club swing occurs, the video kind of goes to the side, so you don't really see it happen, but you can hear it. It's not good.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you? Hey, what's wrong? Call the cops.
Call the RCMP right now. Put the club down. RCMP right now.
We can de-escalate this, eh?
There's the Canadian.
We can
de-escalate this, eh? That is such a Canadian thing.
De-escalate?
You hear the club hit him there. Guy goes down, started rolling around the ground, holding his head. Apparently he wasn't seriously injured. His friends, of course, very upset. The guy filming, staying very calm, very Canadian, saying, we could de-escalate this, eh? Cops showed up, arrested the guy who they described as, quote, intoxicated. Sounds like he's facing charges for assault with a weapon.
Oof.
Yeah. Or can't be doing that, dude. Don't get me wrong. I have had a day on the golf course, and I've wanted to throw the clubs.
Yeah, you get angry, but
never have I wanted to swing that.
Having a good time?
Supposed to be.
Not at work.
Yeah. But people take things way too seriously, man. They just do. This guy apparently not having it. Not having it.
Oof.
Apparently the weather in Denver
is unpredictable.
Well, much like anywhere in the U.S., it is unpredictable. But this year, it's not cooperating with people who are hoping to wear slutty costumes.
It's going to be freezing cold this Halloween, but layering up doesn't mean that your costume needs to be ruined for trick-or-treating. For example, you could be a werewolf and a windbreaker. Sure, you now look like a Greek dude that owns a diner, but at least you're nice and warm. Or how about dressing in a sexy Taylor Swift costume, loaded up with 3 layers of skin-colored hoodies? Geez, Taylor's looking kind of bloated nowadays. Easy on the king-size Snickers. Those not good enough for you? How about dressing as Fat Freddy Krueger, a bloated ballerina, a chunky chipmunk, or Brendan Fraser in The Whale? The options are endless. Just make sure you fill your shoes with hand warmers before you go out trick-or-treating, okay?
To be honest, I don't think it's going to be that cold. But Denver, hot, dry fall this
They've got a freeze
last month
warning,
or so.
don't they?
But on the one day when everybody wants to show off their costume, and they're hoping for warmer weather, it's not going to happen.
Hard freeze and maybe some snow. Is that the deal?
Yeah. Chance of snow and rain predicted high for Denver on Halloween, just 59 degrees.
That's not.
It's actually warmer than it's going to be here.
I was just going to say, that's not that bad. But there's a freeze warning.
Yesterday, windy, gusts up to 21 miles per hour. Chilly rain overnight.
It's the winds, I think.
October 31st.
Miles an hour.
Likely high of 58. Trick-or-treaters. Probably not going to encounter any rain or snow, but the gals who like to wear the tight little skimpy Halloween costumes when they go out dancing.
Blustery, 55 miles an hour.
Apparently going to be dealing with some cooler temperatures.
That's the thing.
In Denver, unfortunately. People not happy about it.
What are you going to do?
There's even an article.
It's the weather. What are you going to do?
Westword.com. Article title, Denver weather takes devastating turn for slutty Halloween costumes. That's the title of the article.
Well.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Halloween is this weekend, and it's time to get your costume. Choose from superhero costumes, I'm Batman, or scary movie costumes, and everything else is slutty. It's the slutty Halloween costume shop. There's the slutty devil, slutty nurse, slutty schoolgirl, even slutty witch. The slutty Halloween costume shop, and just added slutty squid game, sexy pizza rats, slutty pumpkin shortage, and slutty gallon jug of milk.
That's how I feel about those costumes. You can make anything be that.
And they have.
They continue to do it, yes.
I don't think those girls are deterred by the weather at all.
They're not.
We've seen New Year's Eve where girls go out in the skimpiest of skirts and the highest of heels and no jacket, doing the walk of shame. They don't care.
No.
If the look's on point, doesn't matter what the weather is.
That's correct.
Last year, Denver did get 5 inches of snow 3 days before Halloween.
And didn't stop anybody from doing any
And
other
yeah,
thing.
I don't think it mattered to anybody.
I'm a slutty candy corn. It's out there.
Oh, yeah. Best of luck to those in Denver dressing skimpily. Scantily clad. Skimpy.
I'm a sweet and sexy candy corn.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We got emails and text messages we're going to read in just a couple minutes. First, it's 6 a.m.
Rock Mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Call.
Hello?
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Visit the website, rockmornings.com, for all of our contact info. Listen to the show live on the website. Subscribe and listen to our daily podcast. Register to win contests. Find us on social media. All that stuff right there at rockmornings.com. Email from Roxy earlier talking about National Candy Corn Day. Said, hey, Brian, candy corn and almonds together, so good.
Like a little trail mix of your favorites.
Somebody's got to eat it, and it ain't going to be me. So you might as well have at it, Roxy. If you put a plate of that in front of me, I'm just going to throw it in the trash. Candy corns and almonds.
I hate candy corn. I would never choose it, I guess.
Sounds terrible. John said hose don't get cold until bar time. Talking about the weather in Denver. Apparently too cold for women to wear skimpy outfits this Halloween.
It's never too cold.
Yeah. Did they not get the memo about how cold it gets in the Midwest?
It's never too cold.
I've seen things, man.
I have also.
New Year's Eve, man. You go downtown and it's like...
Yeah, well, you wear a jacket till you get to where you're going.
They don't even wear the jacket. I've seen them walking around. They got the little,
I know
with
exactly.
the little thing, and all of it's little and shiny, and there's a lot of skin showing, and I like it. I applaud you. I'm here for it. But I'm like, good luck getting home.
Not Cold don't stop that.
Better not have to walk.
Cold don't stop that.
Got a text from someone, a GIF of peanut butter jelly time. We had that text message from somebody earlier that said that peanut butter is effing gross.
I don't agree with that.
That all stems from Tom's text message where he said they should do a poll on how people eat Nutty Buddies. I think there's really only two ways, right? You either eat it like a normal human being or you peel it apart and dissect it, right?
And roll the Nutty Buddy part up into a little ball.
Just you and your weird Oreo thing. That's so weird.
You never did
Every time,
that? I saw it on the internet.
I'm not saying that people don't do. I just every time you say something about food, it's like what? Dean, earlier we were talking about 20% of Americans in a new poll said that they would like to see children of all ages get the right to vote.
Super weird question with no context, but
Dean texted in and said America is slowly turning into the movie Idiocracy.
Okay.
Yeah. Workforce Wednesday, did we get?
Yeah, we heard from a bunch of people. Nancy today and Chad, thanks for letting us know where you're working. We appreciate that. And Brandon, also Blake, by the way, and Tom, working in healthcare today. Thanks for letting us know. Gunderson, Brendan, Marine, it looks like slaving away at Midwest Family. Oh, wait, that's me. I signed up on Workforce Wednesday. You can do so, too. rockmornings.com for your chance to win on Wednesdays as we salute you, the working folk.
Yeah, also on date night, your chance to win pizza and movie passes. Right there on the website, rockmornings.com. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.